Many inexperienced men often go for the first woman they date or have a crush on. They develop something called Onitis, which is an intense romantic obsession with a single person. They believe this person is the one, even when that person is unavailable. Signs of Onitis include one-sided conversations and chronic distracting relationship fantasies. These men often fantasize about their future wedding or children without properly getting to know the woman first, only to discover they opened a can of worms months or years later. By rushing into a relationship without proper vetting, these men often find out the women they chose have a plethora of deep-seated personal and mental problems. Imagine being a year into a relationship only to realize you've been dating a covert narcissist or someone with borderline personality disorder. All that time, money, and pain could have been saved by avoiding such women in the first place. In this video, I will teach how to vet your woman properly and what are some of the red flags you should take note so that you avoid potential pain and heartbreak in the future. Don't allow your infatuation with your girl to cloud your judgment. All women must be properly vetted and tested before you decide if she is suitable to be your partner. Honestly, all men are pigs. We are visual creatures and we go for the hottest women with the biggest boobs and butts. If you're just looking to have some fun without commitments, then it's all right. But if you seek a meaningful connection, you have to look beyond a woman's beauty. Is she someone with integrity? Is she a woman of her word? Does she have a good relationship with her parents, especially her father? When dating a woman, you would want to know how is her relationship with her father. You can find out more by asking what her childhood was like and whether has she been catching up with her family lately. I've dated different women, some with good relationships with their fathers and some without. The ones that have good positive relationships with their fathers usually are stable and perform well in life and love. Everyone is different and every relationship is unique. No family is perfect. You should use my tips as a guide and ultimately you have to make your own choice based on your own observation. After this introduction, support sparking attraction by hammering the subscribe button and notification bell. Generally, I have found out that if a woman's father has been divorced or absent for most of her life, the woman is likely to have daddy issues and is very promiscuous. These women tend to be dishonest, cheat on their partners, and create a lot of unnecessary drama. You should also take special note of women that has their fathers present in their lives who are not divorced but have one of the following red flags. For example, being a heavy gambler and has caused the family to be in financial trouble. Being an avoidant father characterized by heavy drinking and emotionally shut down. A father who consistently cheats on her mother but remains married. A father that has taken on a beta role in the family, and that the mother basically wears the pants in the family and is the leader. I have discovered a majority of these women don't trust men and often fight to assume a leadership role in the relationship or marriage. This is due to the fact that their fathers have done a poor job in leading the marriage, hence the mother has to assume a leadership role in order to keep the family afloat. These women aren't inherently bad, but they are shaped by their experiences in a dysfunctional family. After observing their parents for 2 decades, their dysfunctional experiences often spill over into their own relationships. If you ever encounter a woman that tells you she has borderline personality disorder, run for your fucking life. I have learned that such women are usually a product of a traumatic, invalidating family environment. They have likely experienced some form of abuse or violence early in their childhood. From my own experience, a woman with BPD will love you in such a way that no woman has ever loved you before. That love is almost too good to be true. The love was intense, and she will love and sex bomb you in the initial stages of the early relationship. After you have come under her spell, she will weaponize sex and certain confidential information or weaknesses about you in order to keep you. During the relationship, she will fluctuate between seeing you as the best man of her life or her greatest enemy. As for all people with BPD, men and women alike, they are highly promiscuous and often use drugs and alcohol to cope with life. Slowly, she will make you cut off contact with close friends and family. Any attempt to leave will be met with domestic violence or suicide threats sent to you and to your close ones. Your friends and family will be reluctant to meet and help you due to her extreme behavior. She will also not hesitate to organize a smear campaign to destroy your reputation so that you will be left with nothing and with little chance of future employment. Such a person is also very smart, and she understands nobody will believe her if she is lying all the time. Hence, she employs half-truths coupled with lies to attack you. After repeated attempts at her smear campaign, she will come to her senses and tell you how sorry she was and how she will never do it again. However, her words never match her actions, and the cycle of violence, cheating, intimidation, and patching up repeats not long after. Without proper diagnosis and medication, a woman with BPD is extremely dangerous. I literally had a friend who was trapped in a relationship with one. Unable to find help, he ended his life due to the manipulation of a dangerous woman with BPD. I heard the woman didn't even attend his funeral, and most people speculated he committed suicide because of his depression. I genuinely empathize with anyone with such a terrible mental disorder, but if you are their partner, there is absolutely nothing you can do to help this person. You will be better off losing everything and finding someone new. Have you ever dated someone who still keeps in touch with her ex? You find out that even though they are broken up, they still chat and hang out sometimes. Unless the ex is from a previous marriage with children involved, there's absolutely no reason for her to maintain contact. The ex is an ex for a reason. Some women may think meeting with their exes is okay. As the leader in the relationship, you should gently explain that this doesn't work for you. Make it clear that if this continues, you'll walk away, and you must mean it. Typically, I'd address it by saying something like this: I appreciate your honesty about communicating with your ex, but let me ask you this: how would you feel if the roles were reversed? Would you be comfortable if I were still meeting and hanging out with one of my attractive exes? Would it make you happy if I told you I had a wonderful evening with an ex? If I'm not doing that to you, I'd appreciate it if you didn't do it to me either. Be careful that you do not sound angry when you are having this talk. Simply be firm and polite. By telling her you appreciate her honesty and by not sounding angry, you condition her to continue to be honest with you in the future. If you appear unglued and passive-aggressive, she might be selective with sharing information with you in the future. After this conversation, observe if her behavior has changed. If she continues to meet and communicate with the ex, you can dump her. If a woman mentions any of these two things during a first date, I will never meet them again. First, have you met a woman who was talking badly about her ex just on the first date? This is a first date with a woman I barely know, and she was talking about how badly her ex treated her during the relationship. More than 50% of the conversation was about her showing me pictures of her ex and ranting. Some men who are inexperienced will join in the conversation and bitch about a man they never met. Never date a bitter woman. It is much better to spend time with someone that has healed and moved on from her previous relationship. Think about it this way: if you continue to date this woman, it would be you she will be bitching about next when you guys don't work out. Next, I had women who outright confessed that they were cheating or were still in a relationship in the middle of a date. What good will happen even if we manage to work out and get into a relationship? Cheaters never change. You must remember that relationships that come from cheating end up with cheating. I have friends who love to date totally unavailable women just to have their money wasted and get played on. Maybe you managed to steal this girl from another man's arm. Perhaps not in a year, not in 2 years, but one day this girl is going to cheat on you too. Furthermore, I find it is a very dishonorable thing to date a woman who is still involved with someone else. The bro code works on other men who are not my bros too. Karma is real. I have lived my life long enough to see women leave men whom they have cheated to be with. Don't be that guy. Also, you never know who their boyfriend or husband really is. The last thing you want is to get into trouble with a jealous, possessive man who lacks self-control and potentially get injured or killed. What other ways would you vet your woman? Are there red flags from dating you would like me to cover in future videos? Feel free to drop them in the comments below. Also, you can support Sparking Attraction by making a small donation at the link in the description. Every little bit helps.